Hello everyone, and welcome to Video Game Guns and History. It's where I take real firearms that have appeared in video games and give you the historical backdrop of the weapons. If you are returning from my last week's video, welcome back. If you are new to the series and want to start from the beginning, click on this link here. Also, if you haven't seen my last video, click right here. Today we're going to be going over a weapon that has seen its fair share of real and famous combat, be it firing live rounds or shooting blanks on a movie set. Say hello to the M60 General Purpose Machine Gun. This weapon has been in conflicts such as the Vietnam War, Laotian Civil War, Cambodian Civil War, Cambodian-Vietnamese War, the Persian Gulf War, War in Afghanistan, the Iraq War, Cambodian-Thai border standoff, Cambodian armed conflict, the insurgency in the Philippines, the Bougainville Civil War, and the 2013 Lahad Datu standoff, and almost every action movie from the 70s and the 80s. Firing the 7.62 by 51mm NATO cartridge from a 100 round box filled with a disintegrating belt of M13 links or hand-fed with a belt of M13 links. There are several types of live ammunition approved for use in the M60, including ball, tracer, and armor-piercing rounds. The weapon's rate of fire is 500 to 650 rounds per minute with an effective range of 1100 meters. Introduced in 1957, it has served with every branch of the U.S. military and still serves with other armed forces. Its manufacture and continued upgrades for military and commercial purchases continues into the 21st century, though it has been replaced or supplemented in most rows by other designs, such as the M240 in U.S. service. The M60 is generally used as a crew-served weapon and operated by a team of 2 or 3 individuals. The team consists of the gunner, the assistant gunner, and the ammunition bearer. The gun's weight and the amount of ammunition it can consume when fired make it difficult for a single soldier to carry and operate. The gunner carries the weapon and, depending on his strength or stamina, anywhere from 200 to 1,000 rounds of ammunition. The assistant carries a spare barrel and extra ammunition and reloads and also spots for the gunner. The ammunition bearer carries additional ammunition and the tripod with associated traversing and elevation mechanism, and fetches more ammunition as needed during firing. The M60 can be accurately fired at short ranges from the shoulder thanks to its design. This was an initial requirement for the design and a handover in concept from the M1918 Browning automatic rifle, or known as the BAR. It may also be fired from the integral bipod or the M122 tripod. M60 ammunition comes in a cloth bandolier containing a cardboard box of 100 round pre-linked rounds. The M60 uses the M13 ammunition link, a change from the older M1 link system with which was not compatible with. The cloth bandolier is reinforced to allow it to be hung from the current version of the feed tray. Historically, units in Vietnam used B3A cans from C ration packs locked into the ammunition box attachment system to roll the ammunition belts over for a straighter and smoother feed to the loading port to enhance reliability of feed. The later models changed the ammunition box attachment point and made this adaptation unnecessary. The U.S. Army officially adopted the T161E3 as the M60 in 1957. The decision to adopt the M60 instead of foreign designs, like modified versions of the proven German MG42 or the FN Mag, was largely due to strict congressional restrictions requiring preference to be given to the designs of U.S. arms manufacturers, even if a superior design was available from foreign sources, primarily out of desire to avoid paying licensing fees, but also out of a strong bias in favor of domestic products. During the Vietnam War, the M60 received the nickname the Pig due to its bulky size. Vietnam's tropical climate harshly affected weapons, and the M60 was no exception. Its lightweight made the gun damage easily, and critical parts like the bolt and operating rod wore out quickly. Even so, soldiers appreciated the gun's handling, mechanism simplicity, and effective operation from a variety of firing positions. Navy SEALs used M60s with shorter barrels and no front sights to reduce weight further. Some SEALs had feed chutes from backpacks that have a belt of thousands of rounds ready to fire without needing to reload. In the 1980s, the M60 was partially replaced by the M249 squad automatic weapon within Army infantry squads. Their new doctrine with the weapon reduced the general-purpose machine gun role in favor of portability and a greater volume of fire. Soldiers disliked the new strategy, as even though the new SAW made movement faster in firefights, the larger 7.62 round is preferred in defensive rows. The M60 has better accuracy and a longer range to keep the enemy back. The M60 was retained in the vehicle-mounted row and the general-purpose row due to its greater firepower and range compared to the 5.56mm M249. In January 1994, the U.S. Army began the Medium Machine Gun Upgrade Kit program. The only two competitors were M60 and M240. SACO offered an enhanced M60E3 with product-improved parts, and FN offered its M240 coaxial gun with a buttstock, bipod, and other infantry features. As such, both weapons were upgrade kits of weapons already in service. 18 guns of each were tested until December 1995. There were two main performance areas: mean rounds between stoppages, or MRBS jams, and mean rounds between failures, MRBF parts breaking. 50,000 rounds were fired through both guns. The M60 had 846 MRBS and 1669 MRBF, compared to the M240's 2962 MRBS and 6442 MRBF. As a result, the M240 was declared the winner and accepted into infantry service. Although the M60 was lighter, had better balance, was more controllable, and there were many in the inventory, it did not work reliably enough. On another side of the M60 family, which is really intriguing, a number of semi-automatic versions for the civilian market have been produced in the United States. The internals must be extensively modified to make it essentially impossible to convert them to fully automatic weapons. If the design is approved by the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, they are treated as belt-fed semi-automatic rifles. However, individual states and local regulations still apply. The U.S. Ordnance Company is the current maker authorized by SACO to produce mil-spec M60s and M60 parts. However, U.S. Ordnance put its civilian semi-auto cells on hold until 2006 because its production capacity is required for government orders. The company had charged $8,000 for a new semi-automatic M60. The Desert Ordnance Company is a current maker of M60s and M60 parts. The company charges between $13,000 and $14,000 for a new semi-automatic M60, depending on the model. Various makes of older fully automatic versions are on the market as well, but there are many legal requirements to be met before purchasing them under the National Firearms Act, and they cost upwards of $20,000 to $30,000. Alright, hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Till next time, see you later.